My name is Daniel, and what I'm about to recount is a journey into the darkest recesses of the internet, a descent into the abyss of the shadow web. It all began with a chance encounter in a dingy coffee shop with a mysterious individual who went by the name Cypher. Cypher was an enigmatic figure, shrouded in a long trench coat, his face partially obscured by a fedora. He looked like he had seen more than his fair share of the world's secrets. As I sipped my lukewarm coffee and pretended to work on my laptop, Cypher approached me with a cryptic message. "You look like a seeker of truths," he said in a low, gravelly voice. "Are you ready to go deeper than you've ever gone before?" Intrigued and fueled by a curiosity that bordered on obsession, I nodded, not fully comprehending the gravity of what lay ahead. Cypher slid a USB drive across the table, its surface etched with strange symbols. "This will be your key to the shadow web," he whispered before vanishing into the misty night. That night, alone in my dimly lit apartment, I inserted the USB drive into my laptop. It contained a series of encrypted files and a text document with instructions on accessing the shadow web, a hidden layer of the internet that few dared to tread. I followed the steps meticulously, my heart pounding as I delved deeper into the digital abyss. The initial encounters on the shadow web were mundane, an online marketplace for illicit goods, anonymous forums teeming with hackers, and obscure conspiracy theories. It was a digital wilderness where one could easily lose themselves, but I wasn't there for the mundane. I was searching for something more profound. My journey took an ominous turn when I stumbled upon a forum known as the Abyssal Nexus. Its threads were riddled with cryptic messages and esoteric riddles. The users, shrouded in pseudonyms, spoke in veiled terms about forbidden knowledge and the nature of reality itself. It was as if they were the gatekeepers to a hidden realm. One message stood out, a private invitation to join a live-streamed event called The Ascendance. The message contained a sinister promise: witness the unraveling of the cosmos. My curiosity was piqued, and I accepted the invitation, my heart racing with a mixture of anticipation and dread. The night of the Ascendance arrived, and I found myself in front of my laptop, connected to the shadow web's most elusive live stream. The room on the other end was shrouded in darkness, adorned with occult symbols, and lit only by flickering candles. A hooded figure sat at the center, their face obscured. As the live stream began, the figure, known as the Abyssal Oracle, began to speak in a haunting, otherworldly voice. Their words were incomprehensible at first, but as the minutes passed, a chilling realization dawned upon me. I was witnessing a ritual, a conjuring of something beyond human comprehension. The room seemed to warp and distort, as if the boundaries of reality were shifting. I watched in horror as shadows came to life, swirling around the figure like malevolent spirits. I could feel a palpable sense of darkness and dread emanating from the screen, and I knew that I had crossed a line from which there was no return. Just as the ritual reached its climax, my laptop screen shattered into a web of fractured images, and the room around me plunged into darkness. My heart raced, and I fumbled for the light switch, but it was too late. The darkness had seeped into my very soul. In the days that followed, I descended into a maelstrom of paranoia and despair. I heard whispers in the darkest corners of my mind, and the shadows in my apartment seemed to writhe with a sinister life of their own. I realized that I had become a pawn in a game far beyond my understanding, and there was no escape from the clutches of the abyss. As I pen this account, I do so as a warning to those who, like me, are drawn to the allure of the unknown. The shadow web is a realm where the boundaries of reality blur, and the price of knowledge may be one's very soul. The Abyssal Nexus and its enigmatic denizens await, ready to ensnare the unwary traveler. Beware, for once you step into the shadows, there is no turning back. My name is Jonathan, and what I'm about to share is a harrowing journey into the depths of the dark web, a descent that forever altered the course of my life. It began on an unassuming evening when curiosity got the better of me, and I entered the labyrinthine world of the shadow net. I had always been a tech-savvy individual, fascinated by the hidden corners of the internet. The dark web, with its reputation for anonymity and secrecy, held an undeniable allure. It was a realm of cybercriminals, hackers, and those who sought refuge from the prying eyes of the surface web. One evening, after hours of research and preparations, I found myself sitting alone in my dimly lit apartment. The air was heavy with anticipation as I connected to the Tor network, concealing my identity with layers of encryption. I knew the risks, but I was convinced that I could navigate the dark web without falling victim to its sinister underbelly. My initial forays into the dark web were uneventful: cryptocurrency marketplaces, discussion forums, and classified ads for hackers. It was a digital underworld where privacy was paramount, and trust was a rare commodity. I kept my interactions minimal, lurking on forums where users discussed everything from conspiracy theories to illegal activities. However, my fixation soon turned towards a peculiar thread that surfaced on one of the forums. It was titled "The Veil Unveiled," and its contents were shrouded in mystery. Users spoke of a clandestine gathering known as the Midnight Assemblage. They claimed it was an event that transcended the boundaries of the digital world, an invitation-only gathering where the most enigmatic secrets were unveiled. Intrigued, I began digging deeper, contacting users who claimed to have attended the Midnight Assemblage. The responses I received were cryptic, filled with riddles and coded language. One user, who went by the moniker Nix, finally extended an invitation. The message contained a single sentence: "Descend the rabbit hole, and you shall find what you seek." The night of the Midnight Assemblage arrived, and my heart raced with a mixture of anticipation and trepidation. Nix had provided instructions for accessing the event, an encrypted link that would take me to a virtual realm beyond the confines of the dark web. As I clicked the link, my screen transformed into a surreal digital landscape. I found myself in a virtual auditorium, surrounded by faceless avatars. At the center stood a figure cloaked in darkness, known only as the Maestro. The atmosphere was charged with an eerie energy as the Maestro began to speak. Their voice, distorted and haunting, resonated in my ears. The Maestro's words transcended comprehension, delving into the esoteric, the metaphysical, and the bizarre. They spoke of ancient knowledge, cosmic forces, and the existence of hidden realms beyond human understanding. I was entranced, hanging on every word as if I had stumbled upon forbidden truths. As the Maestro's discourse reached its zenith, the virtual auditorium underwent a startling transformation. The boundaries of reality blurred, and I felt myself being drawn into an abyss of swirling colors and ethereal shapes. It was as though I had crossed into a dimension beyond the grasp of science. Suddenly, the virtual landscape shattered, and I was plunged into darkness. Panic surged through me as I desperately tried to regain control of my senses. When I finally managed to power on the lights, I realized that something had fundamentally changed within me. In the days that followed, I struggled to make sense of the experience. Whispers haunted my dreams, and I felt as though I had glimpsed a truth that should remain forever concealed. The dark web, once a realm of curiosity, had revealed itself as a place where the boundaries of reality and perception could be manipulated and distorted. As I pen this account, I do so as a cautionary tale for those who, like me, are tempted to delve into the enigmatic depths of the dark web. The Midnight Assemblage and the Maestro may be legends or something far more sinister. Regardless, the journey into the shadows comes with a price, one that may forever alter the fabric of your reality. My name is Evelyn, and what I'm about to recount is a chilling encounter that unfolded in the murky depths of the dark web. It's a story I never thought I'd live to tell, a tale that still sends shivers down my spine. I was always a tech enthusiast, fascinated by the labyrinthine expanse of the internet. My curiosity eventually led me to the infamous dark web, a hidden network notorious for its secrecy and shadowy denizens. It was on a restless night, as I perused hidden forums and anonymous marketplaces, that I stumbled upon a cryptic cipher, a message that would set me on a path toward unspeakable horror. The message was posted on a forum known as the Abyssal Nexus, a gathering place for individuals with a penchant for the arcane and the obscure. It simply read, "The ritual of shadows beckons. Are you brave enough to decipher its secrets?" Beneath the message lay a series of enigmatic symbols and a downloadable file, ominously titled Right_of_shadows, EXE. My curiosity got the best of me. I downloaded the file, my antivirus software raising several red flags that I promptly ignored. The moment I ran the program, my screen was engulfed in an eerie darkness, and a sinister voice emanated from my speakers, uttering incantations in a language I couldn't comprehend. The room around me grew colder, and a feeling of dread washed over me. The ritual had begun. As I watched in terror, my webcam activated on its own, capturing my wide-eyed, horrified expression. I saw myself on the screen, but something was wrong. My reflection was distorted, twisted into a grotesque, nightmarish visage that bore no resemblance to me. I tried to move, to scream, but I was paralyzed, a mere spectator in my own living nightmare. Then, the voice from the speakers spoke in English, addressing me by name. "Evelyn, you have invoked the ritual of shadows. You must complete the ritual to escape its grasp. I pleaded for mercy, for an explanation, but the voice only repeated the chilling instructions. I was to follow a series of tasks and rituals, each more disturbing than the last, to break free from the curse I had unwittingly unleashed. Over the following days, I embarked on this harrowing journey. I delved into obscure corners of the dark web, communicating with shadowy figures who claimed to be part of the ritual's twisted hierarchy. They coerced me into increasingly horrifying acts, promising that each completed task would bring me closer to liberation. I was forced to steal a lock of hair from a stranger's head in a crowded subway, to record a video of myself reciting a blasphemous incantation in a deserted graveyard at midnight, and to send cryptic messages to unsuspecting individuals, planting seeds of fear and paranoia. With each task, I could feel the darkness inside me growing, consuming the fragments of my sanity. As the rituals escalated, I began seeing spectral apparitions, grotesque and tormenting, lurking in the corners of my vision. Whispers filled my ears, telling me of the unspeakable horrors that awaited if I failed to complete the ritual. Sleep became a distant memory, and every moment was a waking nightmare. I was trapped in a web of terror, with no way out. The faces of the people I had harmed haunted my dreams, their accusing eyes a constant reminder of the darkness I had embraced. Desperation pushed me to seek help from the surface web, but my cries for assistance were met with skepticism and disbelief. The dark web had its own rules, its own consequences, and I was entangled beyond salvation. One fateful night, after a particularly gruesome task that left me shaken to my core, the voice from the speakers declared that the final ritual was at hand. I was to offer a blood sacrifice in a decrepit, abandoned warehouse, an act that would mark my deliverance or damnation. With trembling hands, clutching a knife stained with dread, I entered the warehouse. The air was thick with malevolence, and the shadows seemed to writhe and dance. As I raised the blade, prepared to make the ultimate sacrifice, I hesitated. In that moment of doubt, the specter of a figure appeared before me, a hooded, ethereal form that radiated an otherworldly aura. The figure's voice resonated within my mind, urging me to resist the darkness that had consumed me. Summoning every ounce of willpower, I dropped the knife and fled from the warehouse, abandoning the ritual. The voice from the speakers raged, cursing my name, but I no longer cared. I had glimpsed the precipice of madness and had chosen to step back. Returning to the surface web, I scoured every corner for a way to undo the curse, to sever my connection to the dark web. Days turned into weeks, and I stumbled upon an underground network of hackers who specialized in cleansing the digital souls of those ensnared in the clutches of the dark web. With their help, I managed to break free from the sinister ritual's grasp. But the scars remained, both physical and psychological. I am forever haunted by the horrors I witnessed and the darkness I willingly embraced. The dark web is a realm where curiosity can lead to damnation, where the line between reality and nightmare blurs. My name is Evelyn, and I share my story as a warning to tread carefully in the hidden corners of the web, for there are secrets that should remain forever shrouded in darkness.